Hi everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. It's episode 173. Finally, we are here. Finally, had a few problems over the last week or so with regards to the multi-streaming solution that I've decided to move to, and now I have a brand new shiny one and things seem to be going well. Also, it's multi-streaming in a way that means I don't need to have my laptop do everything. I'm using something called restream.io, and that means that it's doing the hard work so I don't have to. And so far, I've been mightily impressed. The only thing is, you'll notice in the chat that you'll see YouTube and Facebook comments occasionally popping up from yourselves watching there, but TikTok isn't integrated in terms of the chat. We are live on TikTok and YouTube, but the chat will be separate. So I'll call those comments out as and when I see them. Please do leave them as we go along. And we will get on in just a moment with the usual start to the show, which is the kids question to kick things off. We then go into 3 different quiz rounds. And each of those quiz rounds, there'll be 15 questions in them. There'll also be a countdown conundrum for each of them as well. Something else to think about while we go through those quiz rounds. Then we do our usual game shows rounds at the end of the evening. And tonight that will be catchphrase, and we'll do Our Survey Says as well. Loads of fun to be had. Thank you for joining us. Going to say hello to people in the chat now. Who have we got? We have got Andy's there watching on YouTube. He says, good evening, Chris. All looking good so far. Excellent. Dave's there on Facebook saying, good evening. Great to be back. Good luck, everybody. It is good to be back, isn't it? Millie says, hi, everyone. Welcome. We've got Sue and the Donuts saying good evening. Jodie's there as well. Hello to Samantha in the Facebook chat as well. Thank you for joining us. And we've also got Jew in the chat as well saying hello, everyone. Lovely. Great turnout there. Let me know where you're watching. If you are watching, say hi wherever you are. I will see your comments. It'd be great to have you interacting in some way. Now, let's crack on then with hello to random user 638839612 on TikTok. Right, let's go to the first section of the show then and do our kids question to kick things. Apocalypse. All right, we've got Rue here to ask everybody a question. It's been a while, hasn't it, mate? Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, we're going to bring this question up on screen. Guess in the comments for this one question. We don't do that for the main quiz rounds, but do have a guess in the chat for this one question, because if you get it right, you can give yourself bonus points to add onto your scores for the upcoming 3 main quiz rounds, just to give yourself a little bit of a boost. Hi to Abby as well. Thank you for sharing the live as well. Great to have you watching on TikTok a little bit. Sarah's on Facebook and Roy as well. Roy says, hi Chris, hope you're well. Yeah, we're all good, thank you. Sarah's there saying hi. Catherine and Tony are here. Hello everyone. And Pete's there as well from the Britzillion team. Really great to have you watching along. So what we can do now is bring up Rue's question, and he's going to read it out and you guys can have a guess. There we go.
What part of the body do you tell actors to break when wishing them luck? A, neck, B, hip, C, arm, or D, leg? Okay,
what do you think the answer is? Whilst you're having a think about that, the reason that we're asking this question is because
I have my musical tomorrow. Yeah, crazy, right?
Ruben's Year 6 musical production is tomorrow. He's going to be in Moana. And what character are you in Moana?
Maui.
He is Maui. He should have grown your hair out though. No. Yeah, he's got to have the hair. He's got some nice fake tattoos to wear, but it's going to be great. We're so looking forward to it. So we thought we'd ask a question about acting, didn't we? Yeah. Well, we've got lots of guesses coming in. This one was a particularly easy one, I think. Does anybody else want to have a guess watching over on TikTok as well? I can see plenty of comments coming in our side here for YouTube and Facebook viewers. Yes, Catherine says good luck, Ruben, as well. Mm-hmm. Thanks for that. So we have got, over on Facebook, we've got Sue saying D. We've got Jew as well. Jodie's having a guess. Catherine's said D. Dave's saying D. Everybody's saying D. Yes, Sarah as well there saying D. Andy over on YouTube saying D. Very good. Yeah, it's a nice, easy question. Why don't you just confirm the answer for them, please, Ruben?
It is, in fact, D.
Yes.
Yay.
It is D, of course, break a leg. And we absolutely hope you do, metaphorically speaking, break a leg.
Yeah, if I actually
tomorrow.
do, that's on you guys.
Yeah, everybody's watching. It's all your fault for telling him. He always has taken things too literally.
That's true.
Oh, look, there we go. Like Andy says, good luck breaking arm. And Sarah, hope it goes brilliantly tomorrow. Catherine says, good luck. And Vernier as well. Look, go for it, Rue. Yeah, you'll be great. It's a shame we're not going to be able to video it. I'd love to have a little video to share of you doing it, but
You
hey.
can take photos.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We've got to be careful with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right, that's it from Ruben. We'll crack on with the main quiz. Thanks very much.
It makes sense because ocean.
Yeah, you can do your special little outro.
And
Wonder.
after today, I'll be an actor extraordinaire. Bye.
Bye. And we're back. Right, so thanks for that, everybody. If you said D in the chat, if you guessed D, then you can have 2 extra bonus points added on to your total for one of the next upcoming quiz rounds. We're going to do science and nature first. We then got a toys and games round, and then we'll finish on potluck for the actual quiz portion of the show. Then we get into the game shows rounds where it'll be a bit different. But for those 3, you can add on these 2 bonus points to any of your totals. You will also see there is a countdown conundrum. Where is it? Where is it? No, not there. There. Down there. Countdown conundrum. If you can work that out, then you get yourself another 2 bonus points for each round, because there'll be 1 for each quiz round we do. So we'll kick off with science and nature. Don't put any more guesses in the chat, particularly if you're on Facebook or YouTube, because it will come up on screen and it will tell everybody what the answers are, and we don't really want to do that. We'll save it for the end of the 15 questions where we reveal the answers there. But if you're on TikTok, it doesn't matter too much. You can comment as much as you like and nobody will see that on screen. Here we go with question number 1 then, everybody. Which frozen gas creates dry ice? Question number 1, which frozen gas creates dry ice? Question number 2 for 2 points. What names are given to the young of a deer and a bat? Question 2, what names are given to the young of a deer and a bat? 1 point for each of those. So 2 different answers. Question number 3 now. Question 3, mycology, mycology. Mycology is the study of what? Mycology is the study of what for question 3? Why isn't it nice when things just work? Long may this continue. So much less stress, you know? Question number 4 then. Question 4. What were the names of the 2 cats that met and fell in love in the Aristocats? What were the names of the 2 cats that met and fell in love in the Aristocats? Okay, question number 5 now. Question number 5. Which 3 planets lie between Mars and Neptune? Which 3 planets lie between Mars and Neptune? 1 point for each. You can put them in any order. I'm just interested in the planets themselves. Don't worry about which order you write them in. Obviously, I can't check that anyway. And when we get to the end of the round, I'll do any repeats of questions if you need them. If I go through this too quickly, I can repeat questions as well. Question number 6. Which breed of dog is the heaviest in the world? According to the Guinness Book of Records, which breed of dog is the heaviest in the world? Question 7, this one's for 3 points. Which 3 whales can grow to the longest in length? Which 3 whales can grow to the longest length? 1 point for each again. You don't have to put them in order. Just 1 point for each of the 3 longest whales. Okay, the next question then is question number 8. Professor Proton is a scientist from which TV series? Professor Proton is a scientist from which TV series? Question number 9. Which disease is known as BSE when initialized? Which disease is known as BSE when initialized? 1 point for each correct word in that one. Question number 10 then for 2 more points. Which 2 chemical elements are liquids at room temperature? Which 2 chemical elements are liquids at room temperature? Right, the next question then is question 11. Which birds gather collectively in a conspiracy? Is it crows, ravens, or owls? Which birds gather collectively in a conspiracy? Is it crows, ravens, or owls? Choose one, please. Okay. Question 12 then for 3 points now. Which 3 creatures are mentioned in titles of UK hit singles for Bob Marley and the Wailers? Which 3 creatures are mentioned in the titles of UK hit singles for Bob Marley and the Wailers? So 3 different creatures, 1 point for each there. Okay, next question then. Question 13. In which area of science does Ross Geller from Friends have a PhD? In which area in science does Ross Geller in Friends have a PhD? Okay, question number 14 then for 3 points. Which 3 coronavirus vaccines were most commonly used in the UK during the pandemic? Which 3 coronavirus vaccines were most commonly used in the UK during the pandemic? That's 1 point for each again. And we've got one more question left in this round. Question 15, your final question is: which chemical elements are known as cuprum and callium in Latin? Which chemical elements, 1 point for each, are known as cuprum, Cuprum, and Kalium, Kalium, in Latin. Which chemical elements are they? 1 point for each of those. That brings us to the end of the 15-question round for Science and Nature. If you would like me to repeat a question, if you've been watching along and I've gone a bit too fast through them, let me know, because I can repeat some questions for you. Just say in the chat which numbers, and I'll give you a repeat of those. And I'll give you a little bit of thinking time before we go through the answers, as always. So I'll give you a chance to waffle on a little bit to you all. And then we'll see what your scores are. I want to see those scores in the comments. Don't forget to have a go at the Countdown Conundrum, because if you get that correct as well, and you don't have to tell me in the chat or anything, but if you have worked out, then you can get 2 extra bonus points for your total for this round, just to boost your score a bit more. So no repeat requests coming yet. Okay, Catherine's asked for 1 and 4. Let's do questions 1 and 4 then, shall we? Question 1 was, which frozen gas creates dry ice? And question number 4 was, what were the names of the 2 cats that met and fell in love in the Aristocats, the animated movie, the Aristocats? Geraldine's here. She says, just arrived, but Science and Nature, definitely not my subject. Okay, all right. Well, hopefully you get on all right with the next ones then. Welcome along. Yes, I was saying when I first started that we have officially cracked this multi-streaming thing. I've got a completely different solution now. It's all online instead of being on my machine, and it seems to be working. Right, so I've gone through all those questions for Science and Nature. I'm now going to tell you the answers for all the questions, and you can let me know how many points you've got. And like I said, 2 bonus points if you can work out what the Countdown Conundrum is as well. No need to put that in the chat, just let me know your scores. Question 1, which frozen gas creates dry ice? That is carbon dioxide. Question 2, what names are given to the young of a deer and a bat? They are a fawn and pup. Question 3, mycology is the study of what? It is mushrooms. Question 4, what were the names of the 2 cats that met and fell in love in the Aristocats? It's Duchess and Thomas O'Malley. Question 5, which 3 planets lie between Mars and Neptune? That is Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. Question 6, which breed of dog is the heaviest in the world? According to the Guinness Book of Records, it is the English Mastiff. Question 7, which 3 whales can grow to the longest length? It is the blue whale at 100 feet, a fin whale at 90 feet, and a humpback whale for 85 feet. So 1 point for each of those, regardless of the order. Question 8, Professor Proton is a scientist from which TV series? It is The Big Bang Theory. Right. Question number 9, which disease is known as BSE when initialized? That is bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Question 10, that one's for 3 points, 1 point for each correct word. Question 10 for 2 points. Which 2 chemical elements are liquids at room temperature? That is mercury and bromine. Or bromine. Question 11, which birds gather collectively in a conspiracy? Is it crows, ravens, or owls? It is ravens. Question 12, which 3 creatures are mentioned in the titles of UK hit singles for Bob Marley and the Wailers? It is a lion in Iron Lion Zion, 3 little birds, and it's buffalo soldier. So lion, bird, and buffalo for 3 points. Question 13, in which area of science does Ross Geller have, from Friends, have a PhD? Ross Geller has a PhD in paleontology. It's the study of dinosaurs and fossils. That's question 13. Question 14, I asked you in this round, which 3 coronavirus vaccines were most commonly used in the UK during the pandemic? Now, this was 1 point for each again. Pfizer, AstraZeneca, or Oxford AstraZeneca, and Moderna. So for 3 points there. And your final question for 2 points was, which chemical elements are known as cuprum and kalium? This is in Latin, which helps inform what their chemical symbols are. It's copper and potassium. 1 point for each again. So that's that round. Hello to anyone watching on TikTok land. Do say hi in the chat while you're here. So you're going to get 2 extra points now if you've worked out what the countdown conundrum is. The answer is incidents. Incidents for 2 bonus points, and if you got the kids question right at the top of the show, you can have an extra 2 points there as well, but you can save that one to use on any of the other 2 rounds if you wish. Let me know what your scores are and I'll give you all shout outs as always. Great to have a good number of people watching tonight across Facebook, YouTube, and on TikTok. Love it. Really nice. And don't forget to drop me some more comments, please. Give the video a like as well while you're here. That always helps out. And share as well if you would be so kind. We never know, you might find somebody else who loves what we do here and to join our little community. Jodie's commented 10 plus 2 plus 2, taking all the bonus points for this first round. So well played, 14 there in total for Jodie. Just the 12 points so far then for Dave. Okay, well done. Geraldine's got the conundrum, that's all right. She wasn't here long and she's got the conundrum. Excellent. Donut's got 16 with the kids question. No conundrum. Ooh, okay. 18 for the Brazilians, plus 2 for us, says Pete. 18 plus 2 plus 2 for Roy and Deirdre tonight. Well done there, good score. We've got 11 for the Not So Golden Oldies. Well done. Any more for any more? Before we move on to the next round, let's see if we've got any more scores coming in. The chat will, of course, continue, but Andy says, wow, scored heavily on a strong subject. 24 points plus 2 for the conundrum and 2 for the kids question. 28 points. Wowzers. That's a great score. Well done. I think we found one of your strong subjects there, haven't we? We'll have to go back to TV and film next week to balance it out. Really well done, though, mate. Great score. Okay. I will see your comments as we continue, so please do continue to leave them. If you haven't told me your scores yet, no problem at all. We can talk about it on the next page if you would like to submit your answers. But with that said, let's go to round number 2 then. This question round will be toys and games. Okay, so you've got a new conundrum. New conundrums on screen. Another 2 points if you can work that out. 15 questions on traditional toys and games. Possibly a couple of other random ones thrown in there. Let's see how well you do with this one, guys. And yeah, 2 more points available for the conundrum. So here we go with question number 1. Which game involves taking wooden blocks from a tower and placing them on top without making the tower fall? TV and films next week, highly amusing. Yeah, thought you'd appreciate that. Question 1 again. Which game involves taking wooden blocks from a tower and placing them back on top without making the tower fall? You missed the beginning of the round. There's no problem. I can repeat questions again at the end. Just remind me when we get there if you missed my repeating the question again. Question number 2. Which make and model of movie car was voted the first ever Toy of the Year by the British Association of Toy Retailers in 1965? Which make and model of movie car was voted the first ever Toy of the Year by the British Association of Toy Retailers in 1965? So what movie car could possibly be famous enough to win that in 1965? Make and model, you get 1 point for each. Question number 3 now. Question number 3. In which game would you go middle for diddle? In which game would you go middle for diddle? That's question number 3. Question number 4. Name the sections that make up the four corners on a standard UK Monopoly board. So, of course, that's 1 point for each again. Name the sections that make up the four corners on a UK Monopoly board. Question number 5 now. Question 5. In total, how many weapons, suspects, and rooms are there in the original game of Cluedo? Or Clue for our American friends. In total, how many weapons, suspects, and rooms are there in the original game of Cluedo or Clue? So add them all together. What is that total? Question number 6 then, question 6. A bedroll, a cowboy hat, a guitar, and a shovel are some of the items you must place on the donkey's back in which family game? A bedroll, a cowboy hat, a guitar, and a shovel are some of the items you must place on a donkey's back in which family game? Question number 7 now. Question 7. In which game would you find a wall, pongs, and the Four Seasons? In which game, one game, would you find a wall, pongs, Pongs, and the Four Seasons, amongst other things? Question number 8 now. For 2 points, Transformers can be divided into which two warring factions? The Transformers can be divided into which two warring factions? Again, 1 point for each. Question number 9 now. We're back on Cluedo again for number 9 because I need you to name the murder victim in the original game of Cluedo. And for a bonus point, what's the name of the murder victim in the original game of Clue? Because they are different answers. 1 point for each. Name the murder victim in the original game of Cluedo. And for a bonus point, the murder victim in the original game of Clue, the American version. If you're not familiar with that, it is quite a silly, obvious name for the murder victim to be called. More obvious than the UK version that we all play. It's yeah, it's quite funny. I'll give you that much of a clue towards that Cluedo question. Question number 10 now. Question 10. What are the names of Barbie's two well-known boyfriends? They do have surnames, but I'm only going to ask you for their first names. I'll tell you the surnames later if you've not heard this before. What are the names of Barbie's two well-known boyfriends? This is based on the toys. Nothing, well, I'll say nothing to do with the movies, but I've not seen the movie. Well, it's not really the demographic for it. But 1 point for each of Barbie's two well-known boyfriends. Question 11. In which game could you get one for his knob? In which game could you get one for his knob? Question 12 now. Question 12. Which executive toy demonstrates conservation of momentum and energy via a series of swinging spheres? Which executive toy demonstrates conservation of momentum and energy via a series of swinging spheres? Right. Question 13 now. Which famous Thunderbirds toy was voted Toy of the Year in 1993? Which famous Thunderbirds toy was voted Toy of the Year in 1993? Two more questions in this round then. Question 14 now. Question 14 is for 6 points. 6 points for this one. The original genus edition of Trivial Pursuit offered questions in which 6 categories? If you've been to one of my pub quiz nights on a Thursday night, you will have seen these subjects every single week. And we spin a wheel that determines which one we do as one of the quiz rounds we do at the pub. And they're all on there, plus a few extras. So the original genus edition of Trivial Pursuit offered questions in which 6 categories, 1 point for each. One more question, and that final question is for 3 more points. I'll give you a few more seconds thinking time on that before I say the last question, because a 6-pointer is quite a lot to write down and remember. But again, you will get time, because I'll repeat questions if you need them once I've asked this final question. And a little bit more waffle on to do, as always. Question 15 then, for 3 final points in this round. What are the 3 types of army pieces in the original game of Risk? What are the 3 types of army pieces in the original game of Risk? So a final 3 points for that one. You've got a couple of minutes left now to work out what the countdown conundrum is. If you can unscramble that word, figure out which 9-letter word it is. If you unscramble it, then you get yourself 2 extra points, as always. And then if you haven't used it already, you can add on the points from earlier for those who got the kids' question correct at the start of the show. Carry over those bonus points if you've not used them already. Okay, let me know then if you want any questions repeated. Now, just to be safe, I am going to say the first question again. I know Tony and Catherine, they missed the beginning of the round, so in case you missed my repeat of that question, I'll say the first one anyway, and it'll give everybody else a bit of thinking time too. Question number 1 was, which game involves taking wooden blocks from a tower and placing them on top without making the tower fall? That was the first question again. I'm going to go through the answers for this round in just a moment, so last few seconds to think of it, and the answer for the countdown conundrum will be revealed in just a moment. Then we move on to Potluck, which will be a random general knowledge round before we get into our game shows rounds later on this evening, where we'll be playing Catchphrase and a Family Fortune style question as well. All the graphics come up on screen. It's a lot of fun. If you've not seen it before, stick around. It's always good fun at the end. And lots of comments flying in with everybody's guesses, which we don't do during these main quiz rounds for those just tuning in, which I can see some are. Right, I'm going to go through all the answers then for this round. Question number 1, which game involves... Oh, Sarah missed all of them because her mum phoned. Okay, all right. Question number 1, which game involves taking wooden blocks from a tower by placing them on top again without making the tower fall? It is Jenga. Maybe you can answer the rest of them very, very quickly and get some points before I say the answers out loud. I'll continue with them now, though. Question 2, the make and model of a movie car that was voted the first ever Toy of the Year by the British Association of Toy Retailers back in 1965 was a certain James Bond car, the Aston Martin DB5. So 1 point for Aston Martin, 1 point for DB5 if you got that. Question 3, in which game would you go middle for diddle? It is darts. Closest to the ball goes first. Question 4, name the sections that make up the 4 corners on a UK Monopoly board for 4 points. It is go, visiting jail, free parking, and go to jail. So I'm just seeing some of the random comments pop up. So just to be clear, on Facebook and YouTube, we don't put the guesses in the chat. Okay? We don't do that for these question rounds. You keep hold of them yourself and then tell me how many you got right at the end. But this is the answers for this round, and then we'll do the next round where you can start thinking again about what those could be. I don't normally say the answers so quickly if you just joined us. So go, visiting jail, free parking, and go to jail for are the 4 spaces there. In Cluedo, for question number 5, I asked you how many weapons, suspects, and rooms are there in total. So there are 6 weapons, 9 rooms, and 6 suspects. So that's 21 in total. Well done if you put that, 21 in total. Question 6, I asked you a bedroll, a cowboy hat, a guitar, and a shovel are some of the items you must place on the donkey's back. In which family game? That was Buckaroo. We'll just let these comments come in. It's fine. It's all boosting the show. Question number 7. In which game would you find a wall, pongs, and the 4 seasons? That was Mahjong. Question 8 was Transformers could be divided into which 2 warring factions? 1 point for each of these if you put Autobots and Decepticons. Question 9. The murder victim in the original game of Cluedo was Dr. Black, and in the American version Clue, it's Mr. Body. There's B-O-D-D-Y, but the principle's the same, regardless of how you spelt it. So 1 point for each of those as well. Question 10, Barbie's 2 well-known boyfriends. It's Ken and Blaine. So Ken Carson and Blaine Gordon, if you really needed the surnames, but you didn't for the points here. Question 11, in which game could you get 1 for his knob? That is cribbage. Question 12, which executive toy demonstrates conservation of momentum and energy via a series of swinging spheres? They're called Newton's Cradle. Question 13, which Thunderbirds toy was voted Toy of the Year in 1993? That was Tracy Island. Very famously had a version made of it on Blue Peter every year for about a decade. I never made one myself, but I did like the show. Question 14, the original Genus edition of Trivial Pursuit offered questions in which 6 categories? It is geography, entertainment, history, art and literature, science and nature, and sport and leisure. So again, that's 6 points in total there. And for a final 3 points, I asked you, what are the 3 types of army pieces in the original game of Risk? It's infantry, cavalry, and artillery. Now, the answer for the countdown conundrum is downtowns. If you put downtowns, you got yourself 2 bonus points. Thank you for your comments, Trevor. Every comment that comes in boosts the video's chances in the algorithm, and hopefully more people will find us. So yeah. But for the next round, Facebook and YouTube live viewers, we don't put guesses in the comments. You don't want to spoil it for others, but you do when we get to the next bit, the game shows round, then you absolutely do. So team scores then, put those in the comments now. Let me know how you got on. 2 points for the conundrum, and if you were here at the start and you got your 2 bonus points for the kids question, you can use that for this round or save it for the next round. Let me know. Dave says 18 points, no conundrum though. Andy says 16 plus 2 for the conundrum. He's doing really well tonight. Well done, Andy. Sarah got 5 questions right together. That's not bad last minute. See, sometimes this happens Yeah, it's happened a few times over the years where I've been doing this, and I'll be saying the answers, and people just go, "Oh, yeah, I know that, I know that, I know that," and sometimes your brain can just work that quickly, so you can always catch up. Well done. Jodie's got 16 plus 2. The Donuts got 24 points, and the Conundrum are back on top form now. Well done. Roy says 20 plus 2 takes me back to my childhood with some of those. Yeah, I love a nostalgic quiz round. I love it. We should do more of this. There's a lot more to choose from in this genre. But yeah, we should definitely do more kind of nostalgic rounds, I think. I'm all ears, especially for the Patreon supporters. You know, you can always put in requests for different subjects for these shows. Geraldine says 13 plus 2. Well done. Catherine and Tony, 20 plus 2 for 2 for the kids quiz question, so 22 points in total. Well done to the not so golden oldies. Pete says 16 plus 2, plus a conundrum for the Britzillians. And Millie there says 11 points for this round. Good effort all around, everybody. We move on now to the potluck round. Okay, let's go to potluck. Okay then, now let me just have a quick look at this. Which one are we going to do? I think we're going to do this one. I prepared or chosen a couple of different potluck rounds because I always ask some questions in what's coming up after that. But yeah, I've got the one we're going to do now. So, Blue Peter Tracy Island was definitely not the toy of the year. No, it definitely wasn't. No, but it was something they did like every year. It felt like for at least a decade. It was probably much longer than that. My memory will only go back so far because I didn't exist further back. But I don't know when they first started doing it. Yeah, I can't remember. That's something else I might look up, actually. It's a good question in itself. What year did Blue Peter first start doing the Tracy Island toy out of random bits of cardboard and boxes and things? Anyway, I digress. Potluck is a general knowledge round. You've now got another conundrum on screen for another 2 points. This is also the last chance to use the kids' bonus points if you haven't added those on yet from the start. So here we go. Question number 1 in potluck. Which is the only sovereign country beginning with F in English that is not in Europe? Which is the only sovereign country beginning with F, that's F for Foxtrot in English, but it's not in Europe? Because obviously you've got something like Finland, for example, that's in Europe. Tell me the only sovereign country outside of Europe to begin with the letter F. That's a real head scratcher for some, I bet. Okay. Question number 2 then. Question 2. Which world leader refused to leave the podium as Chelsea Football Club lifted the World Club Cup trophy recently? Which world leader refused to leave the podium as Chelsea Football Club lifted the World Club Cup trophy recently? That wasn't awkward or embarrassing at all for them, was it? Question number 3. Spell the word minuscule. Correctly spell the word minuscule. Question number 4 now. Question 4. In which 3 English counties could you find the towns called Eastleigh, Epping, and Eton? In which 3 English counties could you find the towns called Eastleigh, Epping, and Eton? Oh, that's right, Sarah. Yeah, they were given a replica cup, and the real one's going to stay in the Oval Office. Because, of course. It's a big shiny gold thing. Is anybody surprised that somebody's keeping it? Yeah. I mean, in fairness, a lot of clubs, when they win a major trophy, they don't actually get to keep the original, but they normally get to, like, at least take it home. for a little bit to put it on display. But no, not this time. Yeah. Oh, it's so funny, isn't it? Question number 5. Now, question 5. What is next in this sequence? Rook, knight, bishop, king, queen. What is next in this sequence? Rook, knight, bishop, king, queen. What's next? Question number 6 now. Question 6 for 2 points. What does the IP stand for, as in a computer's IP address? What does the letters I and P stand for in an IP address in computing terms? 1 point for each correct word. Okay, question number 7 now. Question 7. What are the moai or moe on Easter Island? It's spelled MOAI. What are the moai on Easter Island? Just a general description. That's all you need for that one. Question number 8 now. Question 8. We're back onto Monopoly actually for this one. So, which property on a standard UK Monopoly board was the site of the world's first police force? Which property on a standard UK Monopoly board was the site of the world's first police force? Question number 9 now for 2 points. Question 9. Alphabetically, which London Underground lines come first and last? Alphabetically, which London Underground lines come first and last? 1 point for each. Question number 10 now. Question number 10. Which international organization is the largest and oldest high IQ society in the world today? Which international organization is the largest and the oldest high IQ society in the world today? For those who are just tuning in, you get 2 extra points in this round if you can work out what this countdown conundrum is. Down. Why do I keep getting the wrong way? That way. Because it's mirrored. Yeah. Those words, that word there, if you can unscramble it and work out which 9-letter word that is, you get 2 bonus points for this quiz round. Question 11. Which is the odd one out? Big Ben, Old Joe, or Great Paul? Which is the odd one out? Big Ben, Old Joe, or Great Paul? That is question 11 in this potluck round. If you're watching on TikTok, feel free to have a guess at any of these. If it's Facebook or YouTube you're watching, I do ask that you don't guess, because then your comments will come up on screen and spoil the fun for everybody else, maybe giving them the answer. You'll hear the answers at the end of the quiz round, of which there are 15 questions. Question 12. We spoke about BSE in one of the previous rounds, the Science and Nature round. I want you to tell me which 3 letters signify the human version of that disease. Which 3 letters signify the human version of BSE? You definitely don't need to tell me what those 3 letters say. I don't think I could pronounce half of it, even if you did. I just want the letters. Question 13. Which outlaw was born Henry McCarthy in 1859 and which sheriff killed him in 1881? Which outlaw was born Henry McCarthy in 1859 and which sheriff killed him in 1881? For 2 points. Okay. Question number 14 now. I'm going to give you a list of 3 things and you need to put them into the correct order, earliest first. So for question 14, put these 3 battles into the correct order with the earliest first. The Battle of Goose Green, the Battle of Rorke's Drift, and the Battle of Gallipoli. Put these battles into the correct order with the earliest first. The Battle of Goose Green, the Battle of Rorke's Drift, and the Battle of Gallipoli. If you put them in the right order, you get 3 points. If you get 1 correct, the other 2 mixed up, then you still get 1 point. And then after that, they must all be in the wrong order, so no points. So those 3 again, the Battle of Goose Green, Rorke's Drift, and Gallipoli. And finally then, question 15. By what names were the literary characters who were christened John Clayton, Oscar Diggs, and David Webb better known? By what names were the literary characters who were christened John Clayton, Oscar Diggs, and David Webb better known? 1 point for each. 3 completely different literary characters, okay? And they have all had TV shows or films about those characters, or including those characters, over the years. So very well known. But they were born John Clayton, Oscar Diggs, and David Webb, famously known as other names, according to their books in particular. Right, so that's the end of the round. Let me know now if you want me to repeat any of the questions. Whilst you have a bit of thinking time, I've got some little updates for you. May as well tell you now before we get into the game shows round. Regular viewers will know that I've had to shift everything in terms of all the years of live content that's on my Facebook page. I had to move it all from Facebook over to YouTube because Facebook were just going to delete everything for every content creator that had older than 30 days live videos, probably just to clear down all their server storage space that must be taking up billions of gigabytes of data, whatever that number is, I don't know. That's probably why they've done it. But it meant that I was going to lose all that stuff which started during the pandemic, if you remember. For those who've been following me since then, thank you for doing so. And so it is now all over on my YouTube page. There is a playlist with them all, but you can't order playlists on YouTube in alphabetical order. So some of them are not in the correct order, but you just go to the most recent episode, the highest numbered episode, if you ever wanted to go back. And if new people find it, then great. This may be watched by one of those people right now, for all I know. So it's all there. So it's all safe. If things disappear off Facebook, if you ever wanted to go back and see what the show used to look like years ago, YouTube will be the place to do that. I've moved them over just in time, found a service that helped me do that as well, which was not too expensive. And it made it much, much easier. So that's all cool. Sue and the Donuts are asking for 13 to be repeated. So question 13 was, which outlaw, for question 13, was born Henry McCarthy in 1859 and which sheriff killed him in 1881? For 2 points. The second thing to tell people is that although this is only really for Patreon supporters of mine, thank you again if you are one of those people, I have started investigating and building a demo version of a Big Quiz Night In app, which is really cool. and I'm quite excited by it, if I'm honest. So I've been asking Patreons to go in and test it. At the moment, it's just on a website you go to, and I'm going through the whole process of coding it with the help of AI, adding in loads and loads and loads of question content, making lots of fun little features and things, and it's looking really nice. It's still very early days. It's nowhere near ready to be released. I need to put hundreds of thousands of questions in there to make it worthy to share, but it's coming together quite nicely. I might share more in the future, but if you're a Patreon, I'd love you to go and test it. So have a look in our chat or message me and I can ping you the link and you can have a look at it and play test it for me and see what you think. All right? Cool. No more requests for repeats have come in. So we go through the answers then for the potluck round. And let's see how you got on with it. And if you just tuned in, you've missed the round, but lots of fun things to come. So stick around. Question 1. Which is the only sovereign country beginning with F in English that is not in Europe? It is Fiji. Question 2. Which world leader refused to leave the podium as Chelsea Football Club lifted the World Club Cup trophy recently? It was Donald Trump, President Trump. Question 3. Spell the word minuscule correctly. It is minuscule. For 1 point. Question 4 for 3 points. In which 3 English counties could you find the towns called Eastleigh, Epping and Eton? It is Hampshire, Essex and Berkshire. Question 5 now. Question 5. What is next in this sequence? Rook, knight, bishop, king, queen. It's bishop again. It's the order of chess pieces at the start of a match. So it would then, after king and then queen, it would be bishop, knight, rook, the other way around, yeah? Question 6, what does IP stand for in the world of computing, as in IP address? It is Internet Protocol. Question 7, what are the Moai or Moai on Easter Island? They are the giant stone heads on Easter Island. Question 8, which property on a standard UK Monopoly board was the site of the world's first police force? Well, the police force back then were called the Bow Street Runners, or nicknamed the Bow Street Runners, because they were based on Bow Street. So there you go, that's the answer. Alphabetically for question 9, which London Underground lines came first and last? It is the Bakerloo line first, and then it's Waterloo and City line. So Bakerloo and then Waterloo and City for 2 points. Question 10. Which international organisation is the largest and oldest high IQ society in the world? It is Mensa. Mensa International, but just Mensa is fine for a point there. Hello to Zach and Bix. Welcome along. And to anybody else watching on TikTok, thanks for joining us. Who else have we got? Oh, and Abby's joining us again. She's watching on TikTok. Thank you. Okay, question 11 now. Which is the odd one out? Big Ben, Old Joe, or Great Paul? The odd one out is Old Joe. Old Joe is a clock tower, but Great Paul and Big Ben are both the names of bells within clock towers or areas where they are. So yes, Big Ben and Great Paul are bells. Old Joe is the odd one out for a point because that is the tower, or that is a tower. Question 12. The 3 letters that signify the human version of BSE are C, J, D. That's a 1 point question. I don't know if I said it was 1 or 3 before, but that's for 1 point. Question 13. Which outlaw was born Henry McCarthy in 1859 and which sheriff killed him in 1881? It is Billy the Kid, who was killed by Pat Garrett. Question 14. Put these 3 battles into order with the earliest to happen first. So the 3 I gave you were the Battle of Goose Green, the Battle of Rorke's Drift, and the Battle of Gallipoli. Rorke's Drift was first. That was in 1879. Gallipoli then was in 1915, and then Goose Green in 1982. So 1 point for each that's in the correct order there. And finally, question 15. By what names were the literary characters who were christened or born John Clayton, Oscar Diggs, and David Webb better known? John Clayton is Tarzan's real name. Oscar Diggs is the real name of the Wizard of Oz. And David Webb is Jason Bourne. Now, the answer for the countdown conundrum, which is on screen now, the answer is, for 2 bonus points, mortifies. Mortifies is the answer for our countdown conundrum. We're going to move on in a moment to our game show rounds. We're going to play our Survey Says, a Family Fortune style round, and then we'll play Catchphrase. Loads more fun to come in tonight's quiz, but for now I want you to let me know, what was your score in this round? Give me a comment with your score, and then we will move on to those next quiz rounds, also those next game show rounds. But we need to know your scores. This is the last chance to use those bonus points from the kids' question if you were watching from the start of the show. And of course 2 points if you got the countdown conundrum. Or were you mortified to get it wrong, I wonder? Right, so 6 points for Jodie. Well done. Donuts have got 19 points. Great effort there. Roy says 17 for us. Well done, guys. 8 points for Dave and Geraldine. Good efforts there. 9 plus my bonus point for the kids' question. 2 points for that one, Sarah. You get 2. So that's 11 points in total. 15 this time, Andy says. Tailed off towards the end after a strong start. It did really well. Yeah, good night overall, I think. Well done. Good scores, guys. Any more for any more? The Maui statues have bodies, but they're buried deep in the ground. I know. I've seen pictures of what that could look like. It's quite funny. It's the same principle as Diglets in Pokemon. If you Google what they look like underground, there's some hilarious pictures. Because you only ever see the tops of them. It's brilliant. The Britzillians have got 16 points, plus they did get the conundrum. Excellent. So 2 extra points there for you. Any more for any more? Please do feel free to still leave a comment. We're going to move on to the next round. But let's do that. But you can still leave your comments and I'll call out the scores as I see them. Okay. So you now have a question here that was asked on a survey of 100 people, and you simply need to give me some guesses as to what the top 8 answers are for 15 for the not so golden oldies. Well done. Name a bird commonly seen in the UK. This is your Family Fortunes question for the evening. Our survey says, let's find out. You just need to guess in the comments this time. So now, as I mentioned earlier, you do start guessing in the comments. I do want to see those guesses. And you're working as a team now. Everybody that's watching this live is now working as the same team. And let's see how quickly you can get all 6. Okay? And it'll be the same kind of situation for the next game as well. Okay, we have got Starling being guessed there. Starling, crow, pigeon. Okay, let's have a look at some of these ones. So, Starling. Starling is number 2. Okay, that is in the list. Well done to Dave. Crow. Is Crow there? No, Crow is not there. Pigeon. Sue says pigeon. Is that in the list? It's wood pigeon, but yeah, pigeon's fine for 4. Well done. Right, Pete says a robin. We've got sparrow being guessed there as well by Dave and Geraldine, possibly others. Sarah's also guessed a robin and a blackbird. Let's see if robin's on the list, shall we? That is number 8. Red kite. I'll tell you what, if you did the survey where I live, red kite would be one of the first things you say. I got 1 that lives up in that tree up there, and about 8 that fly around here on the daily. But there's always 1 that keeps landing back in the tree at the back of our garden. However, it is not here. Not in the list, I'm afraid. Blackbird. Sarah's got another guess there. Blackbird. Is that in the list? That's number 5. Good work. Sparrow I haven't revealed yet. Sparrow is the top answer. Top answer there is sparrow. Magpie and Robin we guessed already, so Roy, well done, you got that as well. Magpie, where's Magpie on the list? Is that there? That's number 7. Now, let me keep scrolling through the comments. We've got loads here. Oh, yeah, several of you said Blackbird and Robin. I'm now scrolling through to the bottom of the list. Robin. Jodie's gone with Blue Tits. That's number 3. Excellent work there. Thrush, is that the missing one? It's not there, I'm afraid. A duck? No. Seagulls? Nope. Maybe the survey wasn't done by the coast. Although, having said that, we get seagulls here too, and you're about as far inland in any direction from a beach as you could get. Where I am. A swan, a woodpecker. A few of you guessed woodpecker there. No, neither of those. The green-ringed parakeet. No. No, that's not a wren either. Not a woodpecker, not a swan. There's another kind of bird. No, the only ones that mention the word tit would be the blue tit, and that's already been guessed. So none of those now. A dunnock? No. I'm surprised nobody's got this other one. Oh, Restream has said, congratulations, you've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Excellent work, guys. Excellent work. Pheasant, swallow. No, still no. Oh, Roy, you're very close with chaffinch, but it's not a chaffinch. That's the closest guess we've had so far. So think of other kinds of birds with names close to a chaffinch. Lots of other guesses coming in. It's not swift, not grouse. Not a rook, not a raven. Walsall down swifts. No, it's a kind of finch. That's why I said you were close with chaffinch. Okay, it might take a minute. Yeah, it's a kind of finch. Think about some other kinds. We get some of these in our garden as well. Goldfinch. There it is. It's not a bullfinch. Not a. It's not a greenfinch, it's a goldfinch. Well done to Sue and the Donuts for getting that last one there. Yes, I mean, maybe I could have just given you the point for finch, but well done, everybody. You've worked them all out. So the top 8 answers from the Our Survey Says Family Fortunes question were sparrow at the top, then starling, blue tit, wood pigeon or just pigeon, blackbird, goldfinch, magpie, and then robin. Excellent work. You smashed that one quite quickly. I thought you would. Struggled only on that last one. So let's go over then to catchphrase, everybody. And I can bring that one in as well. Now, let's just adjust the screen. There we go. So, for those who are new to this one, we are about to play catchphrase. And behind that screen, there is a catchphrase image. It's an animated image just like the show. You need to work out what that is. In order to work that out, you need to answer some questions because this is a quiz show, right? And I'm going to ask you those questions now. As I go through those questions, for every correct answer you give me, I will remove a square at random that the wheel selects. Okay? So, and the questions I'm going to ask you are all about plants. Might throw in a couple of other random ones, but mostly about plants, just to give this round another theme. Don't know where the inspiration came for that one. Question number 1, where is water stored in a cactus? Can you name the part of a cactus that stores the water? Have a guess what you think that is. When I see the correct answer, the wheel's spinning now, I will reveal to you square number 7. 7 will be revealed first. So we'll remove that. But what part of a cactus, and again, you're all working as a team here, what part of a cactus stores the water? It's not the root and it's not the leaves. I appreciate the guesses though, keep them coming. Dave's got it. It's stem. The stem of a cactus is what it's called. And yes, Samantha's guessed that as well. Excellent work. So, number 7, there we go. It's gone. If you can work out what it is from that, have a guess at any time now. At any point, you can guess at what you think this is. See if you can help the team out. So, we remove number 7 from the wheel. And your next question is, let's go to this one. Chanterelles and ceps, C-E-P-S, are both types of what? Chanterelles and ceps are both types of what? At one with nature's good, but it's not right, I'm afraid. It's good, but it's not right, as good old Roy Walker would say. Yes, it is mushrooms. Very quick in the chat there. It's mushrooms. Oh, there you go. I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Wonderful. What a lovely start to this multi-streaming world. Right. Number 4 we're going to be removing. Well done, everybody that put mushrooms. You're going to see a little bit more now. You're still not going to see the key part of the image, though. Keep your guesses coming in, though, if you think you know what it is. Lots of catchphrase. Your next question. From which plant... no, what? I'm not going to say that one because TikTok might not like me saying certain words. So I've got to be careful. It's not that bad, but I don't want to risk it. I'm going to correct myself. Question 6. Is bamboo a grass or a tree? Is bamboo a grass or a tree? Have a guess. Reach for the top. Good, but it's not right. Incorrect, I'm afraid. What is bamboo, though, to answer this quiz question? Let me spin the wheel as well. It is indeed. Most of you have got it right there. It is grass. Bamboo is a type of grass. Very invasive. Grows way too quickly. Right, number 9. Oh, that's not going to be helpful. Let's reveal number 9. It's not reach for the sky. Keep the guesses coming in. Your next question is what? Juniper is a flavouring in which drink? Juniper is a flavouring in which drink? Let's remove number 9. Talking of 100 messages, I've been awarded 100 XP on YouTube. We're all winners. Andy, that's amazing. I did not know YouTube did that for your comments in chat. I appreciate that greatly as a gamer. I appreciate that a lot. That's very cool. Yes, lots of people get this one right. It's one of my least favourite of all the drinks that you could order in a pub. Definitely not for me. It's just a different flavour profile. But the answer is gin. Well done. Gin in general, any kind of gin I accepted for that one. Because it's the main ingredient or the main flavouring of it, and then you can add something else to it, sure. Number 6, I'm not sure how helpful this one will be. You really want number 8 and 5 would probably be enough. One or two of them. But number 6 has now been removed. The next question is, what colour are oil seed rape flowers? What colour are the oil seed rape flowers? You see the fields of them in loads of places across the UK. Very bright, vivid colour. What is it? And let's spin the wheel and see which number we're going to be removing. Yes, very good. They are yellow. And number 5 is going to be removed. I reckon you're going to get it very quickly now. Number 5 is gone. Maybe? Yes. Maybe. You might need number 8. Next question is, harebells are usually which colour? Harebells, H-A-R-E, bells. Harebells are usually which colour? It's not yellow, so we're not going to confuse the comments. The next square to be removed for this catchphrase. We've got 2 more of these to do, by the way, so if you're enjoying this, great. Stick around, we're going to do 2 more. I'll tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not keeping an eye on the old chat on TikTok now. That's an error. Okay, right. We've got Jodie and Dave getting blue. Yes. Well done. Let me just lower that down there, just in case somebody decides to say hello in TikTok again. Right, number 2. Is anybody going to work this out, I wonder? I think, yeah, it's very quick, isn't it? You're still missing the key part of what's happening. We remove number 2 and we go to the next question. I'm going to leave that there, I think. Got to work out the best way to do this now. I'm doing things a bit differently. So the next question is, which pair has the most protein? Which pair has the most protein? It's not look to the sky. Which pair has the most protein? Guess what type of pair you think has the most protein. Number 8. All right, this is going to be it. This is the one. It's not sing to the heavens. No. What could this catchphrase be, I wonder? We are going to remove number 8. It's not the prickly pear, not a conference pear, no. It is, well done to Roy and Dave, it's an avocado. Here it is. What's happening? Some of these are so silly. Okay, have a guess. What's the catchphrase? I'm sure you're going to work it out now. You don't need the other 2 squares removed. We can just go straight to the next one. Because this is the key thing. I'm just going to leave it a moment to let the comments come in. Because, yes, there we go. It's chin up. Of course it is. It's easy when you know the answer. Hey, let's remove the rest of the squares then. And you can see there, the whole of the image, it is chin up. Chinless Wonder, that's a great guess too. I like that, Geraldine. I'll give you a bonus point for that one. Right, let's cover it back up then. We now go to catchphrase number 2. And new wheel. Yeah, Chinless Wonder. If you said that, you give yourself... Not that we're doing points, but you can have a bonus point on me. I like it. Chin up is the official answer though. So, let's go now to another question, shall we? And wild cornflowers are usually which colour? Wild cornflowers are usually which colour? Have a guess. Give me some random, normal, kind of standard colour guesses. It's not going to be anything too obscure. Wild cornflowers are usually which colour? We will be removing number 8 from this one. Well done, Sarah and Jodie. It is blue. Let's remove number 8 from the board. Okay, number 8. Yes, for this one, blue is the colour. That's all been removed. You haven't really got much to go on there. Okay. You can have a guess all you like. But, yeah, well done if you said blue. Right, the next question then is, are peanuts grown on trees, plants, or in the ground? Are peanuts grown on trees, plants, or in the ground? Are peanuts grown on trees, plants, or in the ground? Have a guess. One of the 3 is going to be that correct answer. Let's spin the wheel and see which one we're going to be removing next. And Jodie's got it right there. It is plants. Plants is the correct answer. Let's remove square 4. There we go. Now, there are some more clues available then in this picture. Can you work out what that catchphrase is? I'll reveal more squares if you can get another question right. I'm going to go to a different round now. I've gone through all the ones there. What is another name for the yeoman of the guard? As soon as I see the correct answer there, I will reveal square number 9. It looks like we're going to do next. It's not cheese platter. No, good, but it's not right. Thanks for having a guess, though. Whether you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, please do have another guess at what you think that is. And also answer this question. What is another name for the yeoman of the guard? Yes, some of you got it right over on Facebook. Beefeater. Beefeater is the correct answer. It's not cheeseboard for the catchphrase, no. But we remove square number 9. Okay, the next question then is... which seeds are ground to flavour tahini? Which seeds are ground to flavour tahini? It's not big cheese. No. Good guess, but no. Lickety split. Nope, not correct. Cheese selection. No. Good guess again. For the question about tahini, though, sesame is the correct answer there. Not cumin. Good guess, but no, sesame seeds is the correct answer. We're going to remove square number 2. Might be a little bit more helpful, square number 2. So we've removed that from the board. The next question is... Oh, don't want to move it there. What was the name chosen by the current Pope and also a sign of the zodiac? Yes, well done if you put sesame for that last question. Have a guess of what you think the catchphrase is. If you can tell me also the current Pope's name, I will give you another reveal, which is square 7. 7. Leo is the correct answer. Yes, excellent work there. Let's remove number 7 from the board, shall we? Okay, number 7's gone. Keep your guesses coming in. What could this be? Or what is going on? What's the catchphrase? Yes, Leo was the correct answer there. The next question is... which property on a standard UK Monopoly board shares its name with one of His Majesty's prisons? Which property on a standard UK Monopoly board shares its name with one of His Majesty's prisons? It's not... got some other guesses coming in for the catchphrase. It's not cheese and potato pie. Not cat's cheese. It's not cheese and wine, but Sue is remarkably close without being correct. I'll give you that clue. It's not running buffet. For the quiz question I gave you, Pentonville Road is correct. Excellent work there for Dave. It's not Old Kent Road, it is Pentonville Road. Fair, yeah, Pentonville, yeah. Good guesses. Well done. We're going to remove number 6 now. And who else there? Geraldine's got Pentonville as well. Let's remove number 6. One more of these catchphrases to go after this, and that'll be the end of the show. Not party platter. No. You can see the ingredients involved, and like I said, Sue's guess was correct to some extent, but just missing a key word. Millie's gone with cheese and wine night. No. We have removed number 6 now. Your next question. Not cheese and biscuits. No. What are they doing? Cheese and wine party. That's the correct answer. Well done. Let me reveal the whole of the image. Cheese and wine party. Sarah and Sue both got it very quickly there. Yeah, cheese party is close, but cheese and wine party is the phrase we were looking for specifically. So, let's go again, shall we? The last one of the night. Yes, well done, Geraldine, as well. I see a comment there, cheese and wine party. Excellent. So, the final one then. This is it, your last game of the evening. One more catchphrase to wrap things up. I will tell you now, because some people will drop off before I do my outro. Next week, we will be back here again, assuming it's not 1 billion degrees outside and making the whole house really hot and I can't stand it. We will be back here again doing the same thing next week. We will try and do tenable instead of catchphrase next week. Should be doable. Just haven't done it in this new style yet, the way I'm going live, remember, but it should be fine. Any case, Facebook Live will continue next week. The week after that will be the last week of July. That will be a Patreon quiz week, so there'll be no Facebook Live, no YouTube, no TikTok. So if you'd like to join Patreon or get involved in that, you can drop me a message wherever you're following me. I'll let you know what that's all about. You can get a free trial if you're not already a Patreon member. And then you can join in our private quiz nights where we do completely different game shows. Yes, I know. If you go to the Sunday quiz nights at the pub that I host, we do a bingo game at the end of the quiz, and number 9 bingo call is cheese and wine, and I jokingly say it was a work event, harking back to the scandals that happened during the pandemic, which is quite amusing to me, to bring that back up and remind everybody, never forgive, never forget. Right, with that said, so bear that in mind. We then go into August, and I was going to tell you this at the end, but I'm going to be taking August off from hosting the Facebook Live quizzes like I've done before, and just need to have that time. I'm going to be away at some point anyway, so I'm not going to be around much. So August, no Facebook Live quizzes, no YouTube, no TikTok Lives at all. It will just be the Patreon quiz at the end of the month I'll do to honour the support I get. But yes, of course, the Sunday quiz meetup is coming, isn't it? You'll be down on the 27th, isn't it? The last Sunday of the month? Yes, it is, isn't it? I'm sure it's the 27th. Yeah. It's going to be great. They come around so fast. Right, look, I'm going to do another question. I've waffled on too much before the end of this, and I'm already spinning the wheel for you. Right. What name is given if you draw a chess match? What name is given to a chess match that ends in a draw? Special word they give it. And the next catchphrase is ready to be guessed. So we just got to remove some of the squares. So if you get this question right, then I'll remove it. Stalemate. That is the correct answer. Let's start removing some squares then. So we're going to take away number 9 first. Number 9 is gone. Right. Do you know what? You might be able to get it just from that. I'll be honest, it's possible. Right, the next question. What name is given to the process of wearing away rock by wind, water, or other natural forces? What name is given to the process of wearing away rock by wind, water, or other natural forces? Well done if you got stalemate for that last one. Oh, it's not Ring of Fire, but that's a great guess. Good effort there, Sarah. It's not Ring of Fire. Yeah, we're always gone with that as well. It's good, but it's not right. Jodie and Sam, if you said erosion, Geraldine as well, and Sarah again, erosion, very good. That's the answer to that quiz question. So we remove number 5 now. Let's remove number 5. Yeah, you're going to get this very quickly. So your next question, if you're going to need it. What colour is the Jubilee line on a London Underground map? And if you get that one right, we will remove square number 1. Looks that's where the wheel's landing. Square number 1 is going to be going next. But we might not need it. In fact, we definitely don't need it because it has been guessed. Let's reveal the last catchphrase of the evening, everybody. It is firefighter. I would accept firefighting or firefight. Interestingly, fighting fire with fire, I probably wouldn't have accepted that because it's not a fire fighting another fire, is it? But it's a great guess until you see that it's, firefighting or firefighter. That's the specific correct answer. And the answer to that trivia question was silver. Well done, Tony. The Jubilee line is silver. Yes, just to close that one off as well. The first person to get it correct, if you're interested in that, was Samantha. Very well done. You said firefighting first, which is close enough. But yeah, the arrow is pointing at the fighter, so technically it's firefighter. I digress. I give you the point anyway. Very well done, everybody. And so that brings us to the end of tonight's quiz. Not bad at all. We had some people on TikTok watching, we had some people on YouTube, and we had obviously the main crowd, the historic crowd I've always had supporting me through Facebook. So we'll keep this going. It was great to see everybody back together again, all the usual names and some new names, some new people popping up in the chat. That was really nice. So I'm really pleased with how this one turned out. I hope you enjoyed it too, especially if you could stick with us throughout the show, because it's a nice hour and a half long, nice way to spend your evening. Something different to do than being sat in front of the telly. You're sat in front of a screen watching something different, and you're actually being part of it, which is why I love what I do here for you. Thank you. I'll definitely follow now. I appreciate that, Samantha. You can follow me not just on Facebook. As you know, I've banged on about it all through the evening. I do provide quiz content elsewhere. I do short form videos over on TikTok and Instagram as well. Loads of other different places. If you Google Big Quiz Night In, it's only me that comes back. I think it's only me. Last time I checked, it was. And you will then get to follow me everywhere. And if you're ever in the Abingdon area, that's where I do my pub quiz nights. Thursdays and Sundays, so do let me know if that's something you're ever interested in. Sunday the 27th, I think, was our meetup that we've arranged. Millie says, quiz is the highlight of my week always. Thank you. And there's also a merch store. I don't know when the next sale is, but there's a merch store. If you follow the link in the description of all my videos, again, or just message me, you can get Big Quiz Night In. These logos you see either side, you can get that slapped onto t-shirts and bags and hats, and I do all sorts. It's all good fun, and it all helps support what I do here. Okay, Roy says, have a great meetup at the end of the month. Sorry we can't make it as we sail on Saturday, a 14-night cruise around the Baltics. No, I'm kind of jealous. I wouldn't mind going on a cruise, but I know I'd be missing hosting if I did that, but it does sound lovely. So yes, I hope to hear about it next time we meet up. Yes, and thank you for all the lovely messages. Great to see you all. Hope to see some of you soon at a pub quiz. For everybody else, take care. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you all same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers, good night.